Hi guys, Scott Gallagher here with CCS. I've got a special guest here with me today, Tellman Knudson. Tellman is currently running across the United States to raise a lot of money for a very, very special cause. And I just want to take the opportunity to ask a few questions of Tellman. And Tellman, could you tell me why you're running across America right now?
Yeah, I'm running across the United States right now barefoot. The first person that's ever tried to do it barefoot, or at least the first person that said they're trying to do it barefoot. And I'm raising $100 million for youth homelessness in America.
$100 million. Why are you raising money for the homeless youth?
Well, there are a lot of reasons, and I could go on and on about it, but at the end of the day, there are going to be over 2 million youth in America that experience homelessness this year. And when I mean youth in America, I don't mean kids who are homeless and their parents are homeless with them and they're traveling around together in a van or something. I'm talking about kids who are out on the streets by themselves with no home and nobody to go to. Over 2 million this year, okay? Ridiculous. And on average, about 13 a day die. 13 kids die on the streets in America every single day due to no fault of their own. So that's just unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. Somebody's got to do something about it, and so I decided to stand up and make some noise and do this big run in the meantime to really shake things up and raise a bunch of money to make a dent.
Dude, that's a lot of money.
Sure is. It is a lot of money.
That's just awesome. I mean, it's awesome. Now, is there a charity that the money is going to?
Well, the way it works is I managed to start my own 501c3 called Tellman.org. So there's my charity, and what we do is 100% of the money that we're raising is being redistributed to a wide variety of charities and nonprofit outreach centers that are on the ground doing good, helping kids every day throughout the country. The number one thing, I've talked to all these different charities, all these different nonprofits, homeless outreach centers, homeless shelters, and the one thing that they all are in massive need of right now is funding, because a lot of the grant money that has been available is not available in the same places. There's still a lot of grant money that's out there that's available, but it's changing. It's a very changing economy right now, and many of the companies that used to be doing well, not so much anymore. So they're not giving away as much money. In many cases, they're not giving away any because they're not profitable every month and trying to figure out how to keep afloat as a company as well. So many of these outreach centers are now underfunded. They're letting go of key staff. They're letting repairs to things like roofs and kitchens and everything else that serve folks that are homeless go because they can't afford to make those changes. So we're trying to raise money out there in the public and then redistribute it to the places that are doing good in those same local environments by bringing awareness with this run.
Wow, I'm really impressed. I think that's just fantastic. The feat that you're doing to run. How many miles is it?
Well, the original route was about 3,200 miles, and we've shifted the original route a little bit. I can't run on interstates, and I can't run on divided highways, or at least I can't do those things legally. And we accidentally ended up on the interstate at one point during the run, and it was scary. I almost died several times. People who are driving on the interstate are not necessarily nice. It was like what was a good road just kind of turned into a interstate-like road, and there was no place for us to go. There was no other option, and yeah, it was scary. However, the original route was 3,200 miles. We had to change it a little bit because about a month and a half ago we had a really solid cold snap. We were going to go up towards Chicago and then jump on Route 66 and then curve on Route 66 southwest across the country. But we decided to head south a little bit earlier because I can take the cold. What I can't deal with, at least not yet, is the wet. And this time of year, as winter's rolling in, as it starts getting cold, what starts coming out of the sky is slush. And so slush on the road does not work. Rain does not work because it ends up super hydrating your feet. And when you're running barefoot, if you think about what it's like when you stay in the bathtub too long, or if you have dishpan hands, if you didn't wash the dishes for a few days and then you got to do the dishes, with the dishpan hands, your fingers swell up a little bit, your flesh gets very soft. If you think about scraping that against asphalt for 6 hours at a time, you can imagine what that would do to your feet. So rain and slush don't work, so we decided to head south a little early and head toward the warmer climate just a little bit early. It may end up cutting a couple 100 miles off the route, but it's kind of hard to say at this point.
Still around 3,000 miles.
Yeah, about 3,000 miles. Yeah.
And your initial intention was to do that in how long?
Well, everyone kept asking me how long the run was going to be, and I didn't have an answer. Because I don't know. No one's ever tried to do this before, ever. And so then I just flippantly decided on 99 days. I started on September 9th in 2009, and 99 days would have been 34 miles a day, 7 days a week without any days off. And though physically is possible, and many people have done it, they've not done it barefoot. And I wasn't training for nearly as long as any of the guys that have ever run across the country prior. So I severely undertrained to begin, and then decided to do the barefoot thing kind of last minute too. So 99 days is well out the window. So it's going to take as long as it's going to take.
Wow, that's must be really tough on your feet. How are your feet holding up? Running on all of the different terrains, there's probably different variety of asphalts out there.
There's a wide variety.
Dead animals. And
lots of dead animals of various levels of decomposition. I just got over my first major injury, and it was essentially an overuse injury. I ramped up to a marathon a day, which is 26 miles, and I really messed up the inner parts of my heel. When you run barefoot, you hit rocks. Whether you like it or not, you hit rocks sometimes. And when a rock hits somewhere in your forefoot or your midfoot, you have a lot of flesh, you have a lot of bones that all can, tendons that all can kind of move around a little bit. But the dead center of your heel, you got bone, okay? You don't have a lot that's moving around. And if I ramped up too many miles too quickly, so I was tenderizing my entire foot, and then one rock after the other, I ended up getting what are called deep heel contusions. Basically, I developed blisters deep inside my feet that slowly rose to the surface, and that slowed me down for a little bit. But I took a couple weeks off. Was actually hanging out right here in this hotel for a couple weeks. It was a wonderful thing, and let those heal up. And I'm currently ramping my mileage back up again right now. Yeah.
Well, Tellman, I want to thank you for your time, and I just want to say kudos. And it's an amazing thing that you're doing for an amazing cause, to be the first person in this country to run across the country barefoot. So on behalf of everyone from our organization and our industry, thank you very much. And
thank you.
Very appreciated.
Yeah, if people want to check it out or follow what we're doing, we do a daily video blog over at tellmanrun.com. So if people want to check that out.
Well, that leads us to the final question of where can people donate some money for you? Because there's a lot of money that you need to raise. And
Yep.
And I know that you're doing everything that you can to raise money by speaking and whatnot. Can people donate money online?
Absolutely, and we're setting up a special page for you, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to www.runtellmanrun, and then my name is Tellman. So RUNTellmanrun.com/CCS.
That address right there.
/CCS. So you can go check that out. That's all lowercase. RunTellmanRun.com/CCS. And we're aiming to raise $10,000.
$10,000.
By January 1st, 2010.
2010.
There it is.
Fantastic.
Boom. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
someone.